For centuries, human beings have killed, have tortured, and have mutilated. All in the name of God, and they still are doing so today. This is one of the reasons why Raelians around the world are working to destroy religious taboos and barbaric primitive traditions. In Africa alone, millions of women have been subject to these atrocities through the removal of their organ of pleasure, the clitoris. The practice of clitoris excision, the removal of the clitoris, has been going on for far too long, mostly in Africa, but also in many other parts of the world. But today, now, there is hope. Yes, it is possible to rebuild a clitoris. Clitoraid is a non-profit organization founded by Rael, the spiritual leader of the Raelian movement. He initiated this action when it was discovered that doctors are now able to help women rebuild their clitoris so that they may regain their sense of pleasure. The doctor Loka Onde is one of the doctors in Ouagadougou, the capital of Burkina Faso, who performs this type of operation.
Excision so far touches 130 million women all around the world. And the worst part of it is that despite the efforts which are made today to stop excision, today's studies show that 66% of the young little girls are still excised. It's very, very difficult for a country like Burkina Faso to have such a practice. Yes, in Burkina Faso, some effort have been taken to stop this. There is a national law, there is a law passed by the Congress to stop this practice. However, it's still going on.
Laman Ebie is a professor at the University of Bobo Dioulasso. He is also a Raelian bishop guide and has been very active for the past 20 years to denounce this barbaric mutilation.
Today, it's possible to restore the clitoris. In other words, this part of the genitals which have been cut off can be restored thanks to science, and fortunately, this is very good news for women. However, consider that the cost is so far 240,000 CFA francs to do the operation, to do the work. And a rough estimate of this economic cost shows that it will cost to Burkina Faso only, given that 98% of women are excised today. If we have to restore the clitoris today, given the cost of the operation, it will cost the whole Burkina Faso 1,500 billion CFA francs to do that.
Burkina Faso is not the only country where women have been mutilated. Sadly, it is true for all surrounding countries. We have even received requests from women who are living in Canada, in France, and in England. Millions of women have suffered and will suffer again if we don't stop this abomination. One way to stop it is to reverse the process, to repair the clitoris, and by this, show how pointless it is to mutilate women in this way. Bane Manier is another Raelian bishop guide of Burkina Faso. She didn't wait one moment to apply for this reconstruction of her clitoris when learning about it in the news on television.
I've been circumcised. I've been circumcised when I was 13. One morning, my older sister got up early and she put water to boil. Then I saw 4 women arrive. 4 women of about 50. They came, they sat down under the tree next to the toilets. When I went there, they held me by the arms, one on my right arm and the other one on my left arm, and they took me into the toilets. They forced me to the ground, and one was on top of my chest. She grabbed and crisscrossed my 2 wrists and kept on pressing on my chest like that. They both held one of my feet, and the other one was between my legs. I assure you, I have never screamed like that in my life. I shouted help, calling names, my dad, my mom, my sister, and the pain. You cannot imagine it. When I speak about it today, I have tears in my eyes. It wasn't easy. After the circumcision, they brought me back inside the house. So much blood was dripping. I was losing lots of blood. Lots of blood. Healing was not easy. I spent 2 months at the old woman's place before the wound healed. It is after that I returned home. I can assure you that I was proud, a great joy for me when I learned that a doctor was here and that he would rebuild the clitoris. They explained that what is left of the clitoris, the 5 or 6 centimeters, could be restored and that the woman could enjoy an orgasm. Finally, we could shout, "Hooray for science!" I call upon all the girls who were circumcised, all the women, age doesn't matter. A friend of mine asked me, "But at 50 years old, I will have it redone for what?" To me it's a pity. To me I would say it's a pity, because even if I know that I'm 60 and that tomorrow I must die, I prefer to restore my clitoris today and live it. Live this sensation, this happiness intensively this day and die tomorrow. I prefer that.
Cette journée-là et mourir demain, je préférerais cela.
Clarisse is the first woman Clitoraid is sponsoring. Like her, many women have hopes to feel pleasure again. As soon as we launched the site and our action to help women around the world, we received many requests and testimonies. And this is what a young Somali refugee in Europe wrote. I was circumcised as a young girl while still residing in Somalia. Even until very recently, I was made to believe that it was good to be circumcised, and as a result, I had never fully understood the consequences of this evil practice. Recently, I started my university education and have moved out of my parents' house. As a result of this newfound freedom, I started exploring my sexuality. I thought sex was supposed to be this amazing experience, but for me, it was extremely uncomfortable and unsatisfactory. I feel like I have done everything to educate myself and escape from the shackles of a restrictive and patriarchal culture, but lately I have realized that I've been disarmed by them, possibly for life. I feel like my own parents, my own people, My own culture has failed me. They have taken away from me what is essential to me, for my self-identity, my womanhood. I see other women and I feel like I'm lacking something. I am constantly preoccupied by this thought, and this has started affecting my psychological health. I do not know who to turn to for help. I came upon your website by chance, and it gave me some hope. Will you help me? Will you help her? Already many people around the world have contributed to help women like this. Among this help, a number of Raelian doctors have offered to spend time in Burkina Faso to operate on as many women as possible. In the near future, Clitoraid intends to build a small hospital which will be called the Pleasure Hospital. There, on its land near Bobo Dioulasso, all benevolent doctors can come and help give these women of all ages their sense of pleasure back. If you want to be operated on, and if you live in Africa, contact Bene Manier at this number. If you live in Europe or America, you can reach us by sending an email at info@clitoraid.org. If you want to donate, you can do so online at www.clitoraid.org or send a check or money order to Clitoraid at the following address. Thank you sincerely for your support. Together, we can make a difference.